Look at her. She's a bad mama jamma, just as fine as she can be. Hey, she's a bad mama jamma, just as fine as she can be. Her body measurements are perfect in every dimension. She's got a figure that's shown of great attention. She's poetry in motion, a beautiful sight to see. I get so excited viewing her anatomy. She's real, she's tight, got all the curves a man like. She's real, she's tight, got all the curves a man like. Look at her, she's a bad mama jamma, just as fine as she can be. Hey, she's a bad mama jamma, oh, just as fine as she can be. Looks like she's born into the gold she wears, the essence of beauty, ooh, such lovely hair. She's boxy classy, oh, sexy sassy. She's heavenly, a treat for the eye to see. She's real, oh, she's stacked, got all the curves a man like. Oh, she's real, oh, she's stacked, got all the curves a man like. Ooh, wee, she's a bad mama jamma. Ooh, she's bad, just as fine as she can be. Hey, she's a bad mama jamma, oh, just as fine as she can be. She's got all the curves a man like. Her body measurements are perfect in every dimension. She's got a figure that's shown a bit of attention. She's poetry in motion, beautiful sight to see. I get so excited viewing her anatomy. She's real, oh, she's thick, got all the curves a man like. She's real, oh, she's tight, got all the curves a man like. Look at her, she's a bad mama, just as fine as she can be. She's a bad mama, just as fine as she can be. She's a bad mama, just as fine as she can be. She's a bad mama, just as fine as she can be. She's a bad mama, just as fine as she can be.
Groovy greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Logan Marshall, the 82nd Miss Albany State University, and I will be your MC for tonight. Right on to our esteemed guests, and a far out shout out to our fabulous audience tuning in from all over. We're vibing with you today on behalf of the Division of Student Affairs and the Office of Student Engagement as we bring you the Albany State University's Royal Court Competition 2025. Let's clap it up for that. This afternoon, we're taking it back, and I mean all the way back to Retro Rendezvous, where style, soul, and essence of the 70s era collide. The Royal Court Competition is where excellence shines bright, just like the disco ball on Saturday night. Those who step up to compete for this prestigious title does not just bring their A game. They bring the spirit and vision inspired by the ASU founder, Dr. Joseph Hawley. These students are smooth, savvy, and also sophisticated, embodying grace, charm, and creativity in every step. Now, without further delay, let's boogie on down to our first area of competition, introductions and opening fanfare. This segment accounts for 10 points and gives our judges their first glimpse at the magic these candidates have to bring to the stage. the contestants prepare for the next judged portion of the competition, we would like to introduce our judges. Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed judges. Judge number one, Kristen N. James. She is a beacon of glamour and expertise in the world of pageantry. With a dazzling background in aesthetics, beauty, image consulting, communications, public relations, and marketing, Kristen brings a unique blend of talents to the judging panel. As the esteemed owner of Kate Nicole Beauty for over a decade, Kristen has honored and honed her skills as a beauty expert and licensed esthetician, transforming faces and the lives with her magic touch. Her dedication to enhancing natural beauty and boosting confidence has earned her a stellar reputation in the industry. Her experience includes judging many local pageants, as well as competing on stage in both high school and college. Kristen is a devoted mother to her daughter, Lillian James, and a proud alumna of Westover High School, Clark Atlanta University, and Southern Regional Technical College. She continues to influence as a member of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated and a national member of NCNW, the National Council of Negro Women. Her journey is a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and the unwavering pursuit of excellence. As a judge, mentor, and role model, Kristen N. James continues to inspire and uplift all who cross her path. Golden Rams, we present Judge Kristen James. Next, we have Miss A. Pearl Brown. Miss Brown is a native of Albany and an alumna of the greatest HBCU in the South, Albany State University. She is a retiree of ASU, having worked here for over 26 years. During her time here at ASU, Brown worked in the University Writing Center as an English instructor and as a university conduct coordinator. For years, she served on the university's committees such as Homecoming and Honors Day, volunteered as a marching Ram show band chaperone and auxiliary sponsor, and coordinated the coordination of Miss Albany State University. She has served as a pageant judge and worked with Miss Albany pageant on numerous occasions. Miss Brown is honored to currently serve as an elder at her church, work only part-time, and love on the youngest members of her family, who she affectionately calls her Gigi babies. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Pearl Brown. Last but definitely not least, Miss Charmaine Daniels Goff. She is a native of Albany, Georgia, and currently serves as the president of the Albany State University National Alumni Association. Ms. Goff is a proud ASU alumna, having completed her bachelor's degree in computer science and then later a master's from Central Michigan University. Her personal pageant experiences began in high school as Miss FBLA and the Utilis Matrone Club, second attended to Miss Debutante in 1979. At ASU, she was the second attendant to Miss Albany State in 1981 and 82. While at Albany State, she was also active in the marching show band and an initiate of Gamma Sigma chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Currently, Ms. Goff is an IT project manager with the U.S. Forest Service. Ms. Goff is a licensed minister and a proud member of the Mount Zion Baptist Church of Albany, Georgia. She and her Golden Ram husband, Lieutenant Timothy Goff, has 2 adult daughters and a beautiful granddaughter. At this time, we would like to acknowledge her. We would like to also acknowledge our statistician for the occasion, Miss Jordan Davis, and her assistant, Miss Jade Woodward. Also, our closed interview judges, Miss Rashonda Muldrow, Todrick DeVoe, and Rachel Lawrence, all which who are employed at Albany State University. Let's give them a round of applause. Today, we will not only select our next Mr. and Miss Albany State University, but we will also acknowledge the remaining members of the Royal Court and our new elected SGA president. Now, it's time to groove into our next area of competition, Spirit Wear Game Day Chic. This segment is all about bringing the Albany State Golden Rand standard to life with the flair and finesse. Our contestants are ready to strut their stuff and show off some far out game day looks that capture the true essence of the HBCU experience. This electrifying segment accounts for 10 points. So let's sit back, feel the vibe, and let the good times roll. Our first contestant is Miss Kirsten Jones from Snellsville, Georgia. Thank you, Kirsten. Contestant number two is Cyteria Parrish from Atlanta, Georgia. Contestant number three is Savannah. Thank you, Savannah. All right, cool cats and groovy folks, it's time to take a little break and show some love to those who've held it down for over the past year. Let's give a funky, fresh round of applause as we shine the spotlight on our reigning class kings and queens for their dedication, commitment, and top tier service to Albany State University. At this time, please stand to be recognized when you hear your name. Mr. and Miss Senior, Caitlin Berry and Tamirius Lewis in their absence. Let's give them a round of applause. Mr. and Miss Junior, Michaela Hall and Antavius Walker. Mr. Sophomore and Miss Sophomore, Madeline Montgomery and her escort, Jamari White. And finally, Miss Freshman and Mr. Freshman, Harmony Nicole Thomas and Zion McDonald. These royals didn't just wear their crowns, they served as true ambassadors for ASU. As for this afternoon's competition, this showcase has several dynamic areas: opening number, spirit wear, oratorical, business attire, talent, evening wear, on-stage interview, student votes, scholastic achievement, preliminary points, and closed interview. Through preliminary points, closed interview, and scholastic achievement and student vote has already been given to the statisticians. In this evening of the tie of the crown, the candidate with the highest GPA will receive the crown. If there still is a tie, we will go into the closed interview scores and determine who will reign then. So sit tight, stay groovy, and let's keep this competition moving. It's time to switch gears and get down to business, literally. In this next segment, our judges will be scoring these contestants' business attire and their smooth talking skills as they step into the spotlight for the oratorical competition. But this isn't just about looking sharp. This portion of the show is about flexing those critical thinking muscles and showing off those top-notch written and verbal communication skills. Each of our contestants was given a thought-provoking topic to respond to. This afternoon, they have been asked to give their viewpoint on Black identity and the HBCU culture, the role of HBCUs in shaping and preserving Black heritage and pride. Now, they're ready to drop some knowledge, share their viewpoints, and school us on how the HBCUs continue to be the heartbeat of Black excellence. We will now welcome our first contestant. Contestant number 1. Contestant number 1, Kirsten Jones.
HBCU culture is a vital part of Black identity. Whether you attended an HBCU or not, their influence is woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. Powerful HBCU graduates can be found in every section of the workforce. They are our attorneys, veterans, vice presidents, our mothers and martyrs. They are our blueprint. From the arts to activism, from on-campus leadership to long-lasting legacies, HBCUs have shaped generations of Black excellence. In fact, a significant portion of Black professionals are HBCU graduates, proving that these institutions are not just preserving our heritage, but actively building our future. Now, let's get down to business. HBCUs remind us daily of the trials and triumphs our ancestors faced and their will to overcome. The HBCU experience creates visionaries, those who founded and carry on our universities and organizations refuse to let adversity define them. Their legacies are embedded in us, fueling our ambition and inspiring us to push forward. Even now, when things seem uncertain and privileges we have been afforded seem to be slipping away, because of them, we are affirmed to know that we shall overcome. And whether the revolution is televised or not, we will fight for our inheritance. Being a part of Albany State University means cherishing our past and fulfilling our future. We carry the torch that honors our past and use it as ambition to chase our dreams. Because when we walk these halls, we don't just walk for ourselves, we walk for those that were pushed down to the lowest point so that we can stand. We walk to push the work forward and pay homage to the bricks they have laid for our ascension. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now welcome contestant number 2, Zykeria Parrish.
To be young and gifted, Black and educated, a blessing in disguise as we, as the future generation, experience here daily at the unsinkable Albany State University. The 4 years of opportunity, fellowship, and new experiences contains numerous contributions to our society, to our nation. As a first-generation college student and future graduate, I can confirm this statement as our culture, our values continue to change and be the conversation. In our contribution to education empowerment, HBCUs provide a quality of education that is unique to our personal efforts and continual legacies. We produce doctors, professionals, and even African-American women presidential candidates. HBCUs are responsible for the obtaining 25% bachelor degree scholars who are currently working to advance our education system in STEM. Walking into our own creativity, the entrepreneurs produced by this community proudly support the idea of art, the mentality to create our own as the society tries to silence our contributions. Albany State University honored over 800 graduates as of 2023 and fall 2024. 75 of those 2024 graduates received entrepreneur support of $25,000 to begin their businesses. These small businesses, some of which created in our dorms, are not what only bring us together on Wednesday afternoons, but continuously prove that we are capable of being in bigger rooms in all while representing our university. The role of HBCUs in shaping Black heritage and pride is our culture. The culture is strong here. Someone knows someone who can guide you into your next season. Professors who care to provide life lessons and advice, the essence of grasping onto the details of what Ramley means to each of us. I was raised on the quote that it takes a village to raise a child, and I am proud to stand here before you today to say that I am thankful for my village. Thank you.
Thank you, Zykeria. We will now move to contestant number 3, Savannah Gibson.
The essence of our Blackness is a rich tapestry woven from our shared history, cultural heritage, and personal experiences. Growing up, I was always inspired by the resilience and creativity of my ancestors, and I found strength in our traditions and community. Black identity is about embracing our roots and honoring the legacy of those who came before us. It is about celebrating our individuality and the unique paths we each walk. It is a source of pride, unity, and empowerment that guides my journey and fuels my passion for excellence and justice. This same spirit is deeply embedded in the culture of historically Black colleges and universities, where our rich heritage and commitment to academic and personal growth are celebrated and nurtured. Being from Wisconsin, I never so commonly saw the upliftment of Black success, nor what the term HBCU really meant. It was always the University of Wisconsin-Madison, the University of Michigan, or Ohio State. It was never Albany State University, Spelman College, or Florida A&M University. In fact, ethnic studies courses were never taught in our curriculum. But since attending the best institution of all the land, I now understand what HBCU really means. An HBCU is a strong institution that is profoundly ingrained in its significant, groundbreaking history. It is a family-like community of bright, resilient, educated Black scholars who are committed to achieving academic success and safeguarding our legacy. Our HBCU culture is unmatched. As a proud Black scholar at the unsinkable Albany State University, I recognize the profound impact HBCUs have in preserving our heritage and fostering pride. Our institutions not only provide us with education, but also cultivate leadership and unity, empowering us to shape a brighter future. My message to future scholars is, do not be dismayed by where you come from. It is up to you to embrace it and to take that leap forward. Our culture is always there. Thank you.
Thank you, Savannah. We would now like to welcome our contestant number 4, Markiah Artist.
A legacy of excellence. Our HBCU heritage has been built on the foundation of knowledge, work, and inspiration for the past 121 years. Albany State University has produced a wide range of impactful influences that have shaped our HBCU into a family. From our scholastic achievements to our organizations, everyone has a chance at becoming a better version of themselves. We often come to college unsure of who we are or sure of who we want to be. But for 6,000 peers, we have the possibility to be transformed into something preeminent. We often try to conform ourselves to societal standards rather than embracing who we truly are unapologetically. I stand before you today with a gracious reminder of the importance of how our HBCUs mold our identities and values. As a walking testimony, I can assure you that whoever you are today will not be identical to the person that will walk across the stage. That is why my platform strives to ensure students have a plan in motion upon graduation while finding themselves as they transition into adulthood. Self-knowledge is crucial in appreciating our HBCUs and our heritage that allow us to have access to various opportunities. HBCUs provide us with the significant tools to ensure we are well equipped for the future ahead of us, such as career fairs, research opportunities, and even paid internships. But we also experience the beat of the band, Wednesdays with fashion designers, and food full of soul. As we appreciate our HBCU heritage, let us honor the sacrifices made by those who came before us by breaking barriers of what we think is impossible. We are the leaders for those who come after us. Therefore, it is our responsibility to represent the torch that was passed down to us. So I want to let you know to continue to strive for excellence in everything that we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Markiah. Our next contestant is Mimi Harris.
What is Black identity? To me, Black identity is how one identifies themselves culturally. I identify myself as a young Black woman in America. My beautiful brown skin tone is the first thing you see that lets you know I'm Black. But it is much deeper than what we see on the surface. My identity is also defined by culture, family, generational traditions, and my spiritual relationship with God that was present with our ancestors during slavery. Black identity is also made up of our style, our language, the cultural events we attend, our political beliefs, and any connections with our heritage that may stem from the motherland. Now, when I think of HBCU culture and how it speaks to Black identity, I think of our rich history of Black excellence, our unique cultural and social experiences, our cultural cuisine, and how Black identity is reflected on our campuses as we see a diaspora of Black people from all over the world. HBCUs are critical in teaching and nurturing Black identity from the African American history courses, professors pouring into us as students, and celebrating and participating in events that speak to our culture and souls. HBCUs will continue to shape and preserve our heritage by creating community among students, showcasing our lively campus events, and incorporating degree programs such as African American history to preserve our culture and ensure that we are leaders within our fields. Moreover, HBCUs have been in existence since the 1800s, an important time during our history where we were forbidden to learn, to read, and write. Since their founding, HBCUs have believed in our potential, affirmed our cultural pride, validated our existence in America, and passed on lessons that we will share with the next generation. Our historically and predominantly Black student body and faculty creates a nurturing environment where we can express our identity, form lifelong connections, and be seen as an African American individual, not just a student. HBCUs will continue to shape and preserve our heritage as a source of spiritual happiness, cultural connection, and pride. As I come to a close, I am reminded of the melodious hook from the famous James Brown song, which sums up our joy and pride in being Black and confident when he says, "Say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud." Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi. Next up, representing with pride, we have contestant number 1 for our males, Caleb Jenkins.
Albany State, we dearly love you, whose walls are inscribed with knowledge so true. When it comes to historically Black colleges and universities, their impact cannot be denied. From the show bands, mesmerizing colors, and the spirit of the students past and present, these institutions have made their mark in creating legacies that stand the test of time. Founded for the sole reason of providing access to higher education due to racism and racial discrimination at predominantly white institutions, these institutions were a designated safe space to rise, inspire, and pave a way for the future. HBCUs face many hardships, but our unwavering resilience is the main piece to our legacies. We stand on grounds walked by those who sought out the future when their present looked hopeless. The halls we walk are a testament not just to our institution, but to the world that we are the dream of the Black American, that we seek out what's to come instead of being stuck with what's given. The power of HBCUs brings connection and unity. It gives imagery to the Black experience even when we are faced with adversity and despair. Overall, HBCUs have made an impact in all of our lives. They have paved a way for each and every one of us to be shaped into new and amazing things. The people we meet here, the experiences we gain, are a way of proving our Blackness, knowing our heritage, and going out for what is best for each and every one of us. As I close, to all of our beloved HBCUs, such as the unsinkable and indestructible Albany State University, to thee we give praises above all the rest. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb. We will now move forward to contestant number 2, Antavius Walker.
Today, I stand before you, not just as a student, but as a proud representation of the strength and legacy that is cultivated in the beloved halls of our HBCU. I stand before you all today as someone who truly believes in the power of community, the richness of our shared heritage, and the bright future we are destined to shape together. HBCUs have always been a place of more than just academic learning. They have been monuments for Black culture, where the history is not only taught, but is also celebrated. These institutions have been the birthplaces of leaders, artists, activists, and many who have constantly helped shape the world we live in. The legacies of figures like Pharrell Williams, Michael Strahan, and Megan Thee Stallion show us that our potential is limitless. I use these examples today because they aren't the typical examples we use to analyze Black HBCU greatness. But they're more than just their brilliance. What truly stands out is their connection to the HBCU tradition, their power to uplift our communities, preserve our stories, and honor the trials and triumphs of those who came before us. Growing up as a Black man in America, I always understood that my identity was complex, shaped by culture, history, and heritage. But it wasn't until I stepped on the campus of Albany State University that I truly understood what it meant to recognize and uphold every bit of my heritage. HBCUs will always remain vital institutions when it comes to shaping our heritage and culture, and it's up to us to uphold the legacy we ensure and envision in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Antavius. Last but not least, we will bring to the stage contestant number 3, Bryson Williams.
What does Black identity mean in a world that constantly tries to define it for us? For too long, society has attempted to box us into labels, using our skin, our culture, and our history against us. But at our Black institutions, we've learned that being Black isn't just one size fits all. It's shaped by where we've been, where we are, and most importantly, where we're going. This contributes not only to the educational process, but it also impacts the developing, contesting, and reestablishment of the meaning of the word Black. Like many other HBCUs, ASU is not only a great place to acquire academic knowledge, but to be able to preserve and exalt the depth and richness of our people's cultural legacy. This place is just more than rooms and dorms. It is a place where we can come together and keep the past alive, allowing ourselves to identify our Blackness and be proud of it. Just as ASU is the ones who write our story and write our history, ASU is the one who keeps the legacy of our ancestors relayed and loved through the generations that come after us. The pride we carry here at ASU runs deeper than just school spirit. It is born from the legacy that we inherit in the families that we gather along the way. Our family is not confined to this campus. It stretches across generations, connecting students, alumni, and the broader Black community. We understand that this is not something we take for granted, but it is our responsibility to make sure that we carry our collective history forward, to keep lifting one another up, and to never forget where we started from. It is a pride that we carry not just as students, but as something much more bigger than ourselves. Thank you.
Let's give it up for the confident contenders as they take us on a journey of truth, culture, and Black excellence. We will now begin our talent portion of the competition. I hear y'all are excited about talent. Are y'all excited about talent? All right, beautiful people. Let's get ready to witness pure passion and grace as contestant number 1, Kirsten Jones, takes the stage. Kirsten will be blessing us with the interpretive dance set to the powerful and uplifting anthem, Yes, by Shekinah Glory. Through her movements, Kirsten expresses a heartfelt journey of surrender, faith, and divine purpose. Prepare to be captivated as she channels the spirit of this inspirational song and moves with elegance, soul, and strength. We present to you Kirsten Jones. Thank you, Kirsten. Up next, get ready to be mesmerized by contestant number 2, Zykeria Parrish. Zykeria will grace the stage with a breathtaking contemporary dance to the journey by her. Through her fluid movements and powerful expression, Zykeria takes us on an emotional ride reflecting the beauty of perseverance, growth, and strength. Ladies and gentlemen, let's show some love to Zykeria Parrish. Thank you, Zykeria. Next up, let's get ready to turn up the heat as contestant number 3, Savannah Gibson, takes the stage. Savannah is bringing pure energy and attitude with an electrifying performance to Bad Girl by Usher. With fierce moves, bold confidence, and undeniable charisma, she is ready to captivate the crowd and leave it all on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Savannah Gibson.
Show now. What to do, y'all? It's your girl. But I don't think y'all ready. What y'all know about it? Supermodel, fresh out of Elle magazine, afford my own diamond bling. Look, I'm in charge, number 1, second to none. I'm a bad girl, a very bad girl. Ladies, when you see me, move like you're with me. We keep our hands raised high. You know bossing ain't easy. For all my chicks in the club, who knows how to level up? If you're a bad girl, let's get it back, girl.
Thank you, Savannah. Up next, prepare to be dazzled by contestant number 4, Markeia Artis. Markeia will grace us with a riveting dance performance set to the timeless hit I'm Your Baby Tonight by Whitney Houston. With smooth moves, undeniable charm, and a touch of elegance, Markeia brings this classic to life in a way that's sure to captivate and impress. Her performance blends grace and power, showing off her passion and flair for the arts of dance. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Markeia Artis. Thank you, Markeia. Up next, we have contestant number 5, Mimi Harris, ready to captivate us with the powerful, dramatic monologue that celebrates the resilience of Black women. Through her heartfelt words and commanding presence, Mimi will take us on a journey that highlights the strength, courage, and grace that Black women have shown throughout history and continue to embody today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's show some love for our phenomenal Mimi Harris.
She was born with sun-kissed skin, feet planted firm in sacred ground, a melody in her mother's hum, a dream too bold to be bound. They called her light, too blinding, too much fire in her chest. So they dimmed her spark with whispers and turned her courage to a test. She gave her trust like rivers flow to hands she thought were kind. They told her she was too much, or worse, she'd never be enough. She poured love into hollow spaces, but their wells cracked and dry. When she needed arms to hold her, only silence met her cry. So she broke, not like glass, but like dawn, shattering the night, unfolding in golden defiance, and refusing to dim her light. She found her voice and the echoes of the women who came before wove her wounds into wisdom and made her pain an open door. I am a woman born to rise. She builds bridges with her story, lifting voices that once fell. Once a woman with a suppressed voice. Now I light the flame, carving hope into tomorrow and writing strength into her name. She stood before her people saying, I am here, whole and fearless. I have conquered the storm, a force too fierce for silence. Rise, black girl, rise, not from ashes, but from gold, and wear your crown with steady hands, for your story must be told.
Thank you, Mimi. Wow, ladies. Let's give those ladies a round of applause for their talent portion of the competition. Coming to the stage as contestant number 1, Caleb Jenkins. He is ready to serenade us with the soulful rendition of the 2 timeless classics, Summertime and I Love You, Porgy, from Porgy and Bess. With his rich, velvety voice and heartfelt deliverance, Caleb breathes new life into these beloved songs, capturing the emotion and depth of their stories. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the incredible Caleb Jenkins.
Summertime and the living's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mom is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Oh, don't you cry. I loves you, Porgy. Don't let him take me. Don't let him handle me and drive me mad. If you can keep me, I want to stay here with you forever, and I'll be glad. Oh, someday I know he's coming back to call me. He's gonna handle me and hold me so. It's gonna be like dying void deep inside me. But when he comes, I know I'll have to go. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Oh, then you'll spread your wings, and then you'll take to the sky. Come, nothing can harm you with Daddy and Mammy Stone.
Thank you, Caleb. Next up, contestant number 2, Antavius Walker, will deliver an original interpretation of Tupac Shakur's iconic song, Dear Mama. With raw emotion and a powerful storytelling, Antavius will pay tribute to strength, sacrifice, and love of mothers everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Antavius Walker.
My dudes, raise your hand for me. I love you. When I was young, me and my mama had beef, hard head, long nights. It was hard for her to sleep. Though back at the time, I always thought I'd lose her grace. Ain't a woman alive that could take that lady's place. Tripping in school and scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys, breaking all the rules. I held back tears for my baby sister. Over the years, we was broken than them other little kids. And even though she was a little younger, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on that pain I caused. It was bad, thinking about the fact I never had a dad. And who thinking elementary? Hey, I see what was meant for me one day. And living up my dreams, yeah, that's right. Mama sent me off to college, I was just fine. And even as a troubled teen, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. I finally understand for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed. A single mom, 2 jobs, no help. Just tell me how you did it. There's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it. Sing it with me. Don't you know we love you, sweet lady? I love you. Place. Sweet lady. Hold on. Don't you know we love you? Now, ain't nobody tell me life was fair. We working hard late night, all day. I don't even care past the wave, but you can't cry. Cause your anger won't mean nothing to a stranger. They say I'm wrong and I'm heartless. But all along, I was looking for some guidance, it was gone. I hung around with the thugs, and even though they can't judge, they showed a young brother love. I moved out and started really hanging. I had a vision of my own, so I started thinking. And I ain't guilty, cause even from the sandbox, it feels good putting money in your mailbox. I love ASU like what's new? I hope you got my crown ready for me when it's due. Cause when I was quiet, nobody cared for me. Benji never left me alone cause he was there for me. And I can see him in the office doing work late. He working hard trying to get me in the first place. Just working with the straps you was given. A law student, 3 jobs, tell me how you did it. But then the road got tough, feud alone, cause once you got me right, then you had to get gone. And there's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You are...
Thank you, Antavius. All right. Next up, we have contestant number 3, Bryson Williams. Bryson will be taking us on a rhythmic journey with a contemporary dance set to an iconic tune, Faces by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Through his expressive movements and dynamic energy, Bryson will bring the music to life, capturing the essence of the timeless classic. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause to Bryson Williams. Thank you so much.
Let's give a warm applause to all of our contestants for the talent area of competition. Now on to our final area of competition, which is evening wear. Candidates will showcase the evening wear of their choice. Contestants will also be judged on their onstage interview portion of the program by providing a detailed account of their platform as well as a random onstage interview question. First up, we have contestant number 1. As they make sure everything is ready backstage, I want to thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We know you could have been a lot of places, but you saw fit to join us on today to select our next slate of leaders for this here fine campus. At this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce to our audience our youth Miss ASU queens that are present today. So if she would, will Little Miss Albany State University, Olive Hurd, please stand to be recognized at this time. Our junior Miss Albany State University, Miss Ariana Bowens. And our teen Miss Albany State University, Miss Mackenzie Porter. And a fun fact, Miss Mackenzie will be competing on behalf of Albany State as well as Albany, Georgia this summer, as she is the teen Miss Black Georgia USA. We know you're going to do well, Mackenzie, and best of luck to you. Now, we will proceed with our evening wear portion of this competition. First up, we have contestant number 1. Kirsten Madison Jones was born in Macon, Georgia, raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, and currently resides in Snellville, Georgia. Her parents are Keisha Brooks and Christopher Jones, who met each other on this very campus over 30 years ago. Kirsten is an ASU cheerleader that has been cheering football and basketball for the last 3 years. She is also the vice president and stroll master of the Gamma Sigma chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Her future plans are to be a clinical exercise physiologist. Kirsten lives by the words, make your situation, don't let your situation make you. Kirsten, will you briefly expound on your platform and how you plan to implement it if elected as the 83rd Miss Albany State University?
Thank you. My platform is 504 and Park. P, prioritizing mental health and grief awareness by creating safe spaces. A, awareness in the face of loss and adversity and advocating for resources. R, resilience in the face of loss and adversity. And K, kindness towards oneself and others. Thank you.
Kirsten, we will now select a random question from our bowl to complete your onstage interview. All right. And your question is, what is your favorite memory?
Thank you for that question. My favorite memory would definitely have to be this past campaign week as I have been running for the position of Miss Albany State University. This week has truly shown me that I can break out of my shell and I can do anything that I put my mind to because I am fearless. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure. And this week has shown me that I am the epitome of a bold woman because I believe in myself. I've overcome many obstacles. I am a leader, and when I lead, I deliver. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten. Our second contestant is Miss Zykeria Centrell Parrish. Zykeria is the daughter of Crystal Stewart and Terrell Parrish and is a native of Atlanta, Georgia. She is active in many organizations such as Sisters Advocating for Stronger Sisterhood, Active Minds, and her social media program, You Matter. Her future plans include the development of a business that promotes community health and wellness. Zykeria stays active in her community by participating in empowerment sessions for women and feeding the less fortunate. Her favorite quote to live by is, "Say a prayer and make a difference." Zykeria, will you please briefly expound upon how you plan to implement your platform if elected as Miss Albany State University 2025-2026?
Thank you. Lights, camera, action. Shining light on what's important. I plan to implement my platform through mental health seminars, working alongside other communities to not only bring forth the importance of mental health awareness, but to center ourselves within ourselves through self-care, teamwork, awareness, and restoration. Thank you.
We will now select a random question from our bowl to complete your on-stage interview. And your question is, what's one event in history that you would change?
Thank you for that question. One event in history that I would change would have to be the 2020 pandemic. It changed our lives forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Zykeria. Savannah Michelle Gibson is contestant number 3. The youngest daughter of Gregory and Natasha Gibson, she is a junior mass communications major from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by way of Marietta, Georgia. She currently serves as the VP and student mentor for SOL, student ambassador for the Anchor, financial secretary for the Gamma Sigma chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and the MPHC senator for Student Government Association under the REACH administration. She aspires to be a prosperous businesswoman in the field of media and communications. As a wholehearted individual who believes in faith, power, and the love of Jesus Christ, she always strives to carry on the word of walk by faith and not by sight. Savannah, will you please briefly expound upon your platform that you will implement if elected the 83rd Miss Albany State University?
Thank you. If elected the 83rd Miss Albany State University, my platform is holistic personal growth and leadership, leading the pack, mission gold, G for growth, O for opportunities, L for leadership, and D for development. I will host integrated workshops that target mental health and well-being among students, community engagement projects that allow students to develop empathy, social responsibility, professional growth challenges that pushes students to step out of their comfort zone, grow communication skills, and prepare themselves for success now and in the future. Thank you.
Savannah, we will now select a random question from our bowl. Please answer it to the best of your ability. And your question is, how would you describe ASU to a person that has never visited our beautiful campus?
Thank you for that question. I would describe ASU by telling my testimony. ASU changed my life. When you walk these halls, blessings are bound to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Savannah. Contestant number 4 is Markea Tennille Artist. Markea is a junior criminal justice major with a minor in pre-law. She aspires to be a criminal defense attorney. Markea currently resides in Athens, Georgia, and is the daughter of Sharika Armstead and Mark Artist. Markea is very active on campus, holding several positions, such as Miss Delta Delta of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Miss Criminal Justice, and the vice president of the Pre-Law Club. She is also a member of Alpha Phi Sigma Honor Society and Collegiate Women of Empowerment. A quote she lives by is, "Don't copy the behavior and the customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." Markea, will you please briefly expound upon how you plan to implement your platform if elected the next Miss Albany State University?
Thank you. My platform is Handle the Scandal, which is centered around enhancing your college experience and securing meaningful employment while finding yourself as you travel through the complexities of adulthood. I plan to implement my platform by hosting various events, such as having several surveys, pairing students with alumni in their desired career fields, and hosting self-reflection workshops to ensure you are becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you.
Markea, we will now select a random question from our bowl to complete your onstage interview. Please answer this question to the best of your ability. And your question is, what is the one thing you've learned the most from college?
Thank you for that question. The one thing I have learned the most from college is that no matter where you come from or what you have been through, if you put your mind to something that you truly want and you take the initiative, you can change your reality if you change your perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Markea. And our final contestants for Miss Albany State University this afternoon is contestant number 5, Miss Mimi Noel Harris. A native of Phoenix, Arizona, and daughter of Dr. Nicole Harris, Mimi is very active and engaged on the campus of ASU. Her involvement includes being a member of the Delta Rho chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the esteemed Holly Ambassadors, the ASU Women's Volleyball Team, the Albany State chapter of the National Council of Negro Women, Women in Pre-Med, the Minority Association for Pre-Medical Students, the Chi Alpha Sigma National Collegiate Athletic Honor Society, and currently holds the position of Secretary for the Health Occupations Students of America. One of her favorite quotes to live by, which correlates with her platform of owning your journey, this platform reminds us that you can't control the cards that you are dealt in life, but your job is to play the heck out of the ones that you have been given. Mimi, will you please briefly expound upon how you plan to implement your platform if elected the next Miss Albany State University?
Thank you. If elected as the 83rd Miss Albany State University, I will implement my platform, which is own your journey and become the full package. I will promote this by encouraging my peers to own with nobility and fully fulfill your undergraduate legacies as leaders. I will encourage students to take control of their growth personally, professionally, and academically, ensuring they holistically develop to strive beyond college. Thank you.
Mimi, we will now select a random question from our bowl. Please answer the question to the best of your ability. And your question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Thank you for that question. In 5 years, I see myself in my last year of my Doctor of Physical Therapy program, so I may flourish in my dream job as a practicing physical therapist. At this time, I will also be narrowing down the city in which I wish to open my own physical therapy clinic, including physical therapy and sports psychology. Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi. Caleb Michael Jenkins is contestant number 1. Caleb is a 20-year-old junior majoring in mass communications from Albany, Georgia, but grew up in Blakely, Georgia, where he was raised by his mother, Lisa Jenkins, and their family village. Caleb participates in various organizations, including serving as the Anchor Club Vice President, History and Political Science Club President, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People Public Relations Chairperson, and serves as delegate for the Southeast Model African Union and the International Model African Union. In the future, he plans to work as a public relations representative or publicist and then expand into media, film, and television. A quote he lives by is, "It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it," spoken by actress, singer, and activist Lena Horne. Caleb, will you please briefly expound upon how you plan to implement your platform if elected the 13th Mr. Albany State University?
Thank you for that question. If elected the 13th Mr. Albany State University, I will follow my platform of easing on down to a new ASU. New stands for Nurture, Educate, and Wisdom. Nurture is to support students academically and personally by highlighting campus resources and fostering engagement. Educate is to advocate for sickle cell anemia on the campus of Albany State and in the community of Albany, Georgia. As someone who suffers from sickle cell anemia, I want to highlight this disease with a blood drive and an advocacy event. And finally, Wisdom is to instill the values and history and the heritage of Albany State University into all of our Golden Rams. Thank you.
Caleb, we will now select your random question at this time. Please answer it to the best of your ability. Caleb, what is the greatest challenge facing your generation?
Thank you for that question. The greatest challenge facing our generation is that sometimes we do not take the charge to lead. We face so many obstacles and barriers, and we see them, and sometimes we fall flat. We don't go after what we really need to do by protesting, advocating, and going for what we genuinely need to make a change. What I want from our generation is to lead the charge, take the baton, and go after what we need to do to enhance our community and our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb. Hailing from South Atlanta is contestant number 2, Mr. Antavius Juwan Walker. Antavius was raised by his loving mother, McQuandra Walker. Antavius is a junior health and human performance scholar with future plans to become an occupational therapist. He is a Fall 24 initiate of the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated Delta Delta chapter. Antavius prides himself on working hard and being a role model for the next generation of leaders. A quote he lives by is, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life." Antavius, will you please briefly expound upon how you plan to implement your platform if elected the next Mr. Albany State University?
Thank you. My platform is When They Hear Us, which stands for Healing Through Empowerment, Elevating Student Voices, Advancing Essential Skills, and Reinforcing Campus Unity. And I plan on creating an inclusive and supportive campus environment where students feel heard and valued throughout key decision making. Throughout my platform, I plan on implementing these platform points throughout town hall meetings and peer-facilitated study groups. As these are some of the things that we tend to use to create great spaces amongst our campus community. Thank you.
Antavius, your random question is, what is your favorite thing about ASU?
Thank you. My favorite thing about ASU is the campus community. Everywhere you go amongst this campus, you feel loved, no matter if it's the students, the staff, or simply anyone amongst the campus community who's just walking around. I've always been loved ever since I stepped foot on campus of Albany State University, and it's something I take pride in and plan on instilling in the future generation who plans on following behind me. Thank you.
Thank you, Antavius. And our final contestant for this afternoon is Mr. Bryson Rashawn Williams. Bryson is a proud native of Atlanta, Georgia, and the son of Ingrid and Zaquez Williams. A junior biology major who is actively involved on campus, he is the Chief Justice for the Student Government Association, Mr. Holly for the Holly Ambassadors, member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Delta Delta Chapter, as well as a residential assistant. Bryson's future plans include becoming a dentist, specializing in orthotics or cosmetic dentistry. He aspires to address the underrepresentation of Black professionals in the field and inspire the next generation through his commitment to excellence and community impact. A quote Bryson lives by is, "Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value." Albert Einstein. Bryson, will you please briefly expound upon how you plan to implement your platform if elected Mr. Albany State University 2025-2026?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that question. My platform is a 2000s theme, and my platform points is swag. So every time that I ask former alumni and advisors what makes ASU so great, they always mention the unity. And I feel as if that right now we do have amazing leaders in various organizations on campus. However, I feel like we are not unified. So I plan to implement that by having monthly leader link-ups to discuss not only what the campus needs, but also how can we better our community.
All right. Bryson, this is your random question. Bryson, who is your greatest inspiration?
Thank you for that question. My greatest inspiration is God. He has taught me to always pour faith into him and to never, ever have self-doubt within myself because it's God. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Bryson. This was our final area of competition. At this time, as our statistician gets our final tally, we will acknowledge our reigning royal court and receive our final farewell from the reigning Mr. and Miss Albany State University. Allow me this opportunity to welcome to the stage the second attendant to Miss Albany State University, Deshanti Woodson, and the second royal gentleman to Mr. Albany State University, Mr. Terrence Page Jr. Second attendant, Mr. Shanti Woodson, and second royal gentleman, Mr. Terrence Page Jr. Absent today is our first attendant, Miss London Polite, but with us is our first royal gentleman, Mr. Bailey Gray. You come over here. Come over here. Please join me in welcoming our reigning king and queen as they take their final walk and wave.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Standing before you today as the 12th Mr. Albany State University, it fills my heart with immense gratitude, pride, and love. This journey has been nothing short of extraordinary, and I am deeply honored to have served at a university that has given me so much. To the campus's student body and community, thank you for entrusting me and believing in me to serve as your king. First and foremost, I would like to give all thanks to God and give thanks to my family and my loved ones. Your unwavering support has been the foundation of my success. You have cheered me on in my highest moments and lifted me up in my lowest. For that, I am forever grateful. To my court, the kings and queens who have walked this path with me, your brilliance, passion, and service have inspired me every single day. We have shared unforgettable moments, challenges, and triumphs, and I am proud to have served with such outstanding individuals. To the Office of Student Engagement, thank you for everything. Thank you for taking a chance on me. Thank you for showing me what it truly means to be a king and be a leader. To the 82nd Miss Albany State University, Miss Logan Marshall. I never knew I'd need such a friend in my life. Thank you for embodying what it means to be a true queen and a true friend. We will always be locked in. As my time at Mr. Albany State University comes to an end, I do not say goodbye. I say thank you. Thank you for the memories, the lessons, the challenges, and the growth. Though my title may change, my love and dedication to Albany State University will remain forever. To Anthony Corey Moore, though our time here on earth was short, I thank you every day for being a father, a pro-fight, a big brother, and one of my biggest supporters. I wouldn't be here without you today. I will always be grateful for you writing my letter of recommendation so I can be eligible to run to be Mr. Albany State University. To be next, 13th Mr. Albany State University, wear this crown with honor, serve with integrity, and continue to uplift our beloved university. Golden Rams, this is not the end, but the beginning of even greater things ahead. Continue to rise, lead, and shine. With love and gratitude, the 12th Mr. Albany State University. As I prepare to pass down the legacy of the crown, I am reminded of the moment I first received it. It seemed as time had stopped, and the weight of the order had fallen upon my shoulders. The weight of being chosen to represent this wonderful, historically black university felt so heavy. Yet, intimidating. Just as the clock hands turned to midnight, duties to fulfill began as well. With the guidance of our team of outstanding
Miss Albany State University conclusion. Remember, I will always be G87, Miss Albany State University. May God bless the rising glories that are to come during their reign. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan and Mohammed, for a wonderful reign. We bid you farewell and all the best in your future endeavors. This past week on campus has been vibrant and full of excellence. Students hosted campaign events, meet and greets, and showcased why they are the epitome of HBCU pride. And at this time, will all campaign participants and campaign teams please stand and be recognized at this time? You all did a beautiful job, and you should be very, very proud of yourselves. Join me now in acknowledging our newly elected Student Government Association President and extended members of our Royal Court before we announce our winners. Please welcome to the stage the 2025-2026 Student Government Association President, Mr. Jonathan Bing. I don't know, did y'all bring it? Shake his hand. Go out there and shake his hand. Take your pictures. Miss Senior Katrina Randall and the senior class president, Mr. Ashton Parrish. Just stay out here. Go ahead and put a face on. Go ahead and put a face on. Miss Junior Janiyah Jordan and the junior class president, Miss Miss Chanel Reevy. And finally, Miss Sophomore Erica Butler and sophomore class president, Mr. Landon Davis. they take their final photograph, we just like to thank these young leaders and scholars, and we look forward to a bright, bright future ahead for Albany State University. Congratulations. All righty, we are down to the nitty-gritty. Prior to announcing our winners, we'd like to make our final acknowledgments at this time. This has truly been a community effort. Students, faculty, staff, alumni, administrators, and community stakeholders and other friends of ASU have all contributed to this program. And we would like to acknowledge them at this time. If there are parents and family members of our contestants here, we'd like to recognize you, as we know you have lent us your greatest gift and most valuable gift, and we're grateful. So if you please stand to be recognized at this time. Faculty, staff, students, and alumni, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sponsors and campaign teams, thank you for your generosity and your time and commitment. Student engagement and the Division of Student Affairs, thank you. Thank you also to our competition directors and our Royal Court Advisory Council, Mr. DeMarcus Green, Ms. Shayla Taylor, Ms. Sydney Redden, and yours truly, Dean Deidre Williams. And lastly, we acknowledge all of our cabinet members, administrators, and staff members who are present here with us today from our presidential leadership team. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the birthday, I'm told, of our fearless leader in student affairs, Dr. Terry Lindsay. So let's wish him a hearty happy birthday, Dr. Lindsay. Dr. Lindsay spoils the students' parents. I just want y'all to know that. So if they come home rotten, this is why, for the birthday man. Before we announce the new Mr. and Miss Albany State University, we'd like to thank the young people that were on this stage today for their hard work. They have all exemplified style, grace, respect in today's competition. The reigning Mr. and Miss Albany State University and their royal court will assist with the sashing of the new kings and queens. So now to the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm supposed to say envelopes, please, but I already got them. Welcome to the stage, our candidates. Our first award for this afternoon is the Congeniality Award. And the Congeniality Award is voted upon amongst the contestants to the person who has created a great atmosphere of love and congeniality amongst the contestants, being helpful and kind, and inspirational and uplifting. And that person this year is Miss Zykeria Parrish. Our Scholastic Achievement Award for this academic year is for the scholar on stage with the highest grade point average among our contestants. And our winner this year is Miss Kirsten Jones. Now, typically we do, ladies first, but tonight we will honor our gentlemen first. Save Miss Albany State for last. So our I'm up here jittery, y'all. The contest was so close. Woo! The second royal gentleman to Mr. Albany State University is Mr. Antavius Walker. Our first royal gentleman is none other than Mr. Caleb Jenkins. And that means that the 13th Mr. Albany State University is none other than Mr. Bryson Williams. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. If you will make way for our ladies. Your second attendant to Miss Albany State University is none other than Miss Mimi Harris. Our first attendant is Miss Savannah Gibson. All right, all right, all right. Golden Rams, I am pleased to announce the 13th Miss Albany State University. Oh, I'm sorry. 83rd. Get me right. Get me right. Dean tired, y'all. I'm tired. Y'all wore me out this week. I'm tired. The 83rd Miss Albany State University is the beautiful Miss Kirsten Jones. Gentlemen, will you join them on the stage? Scooch in a little bit. As we prepare to close our program, will the reigning court prepare to make way to the stage as well as the rest of our contestants for the singing of our alma mater? At this time, I ask that we refrain from coming to the stage so that we may get our official photographs, and after which we'll welcome our families on the stage for photographs. We thank you again for your time, your labors of love, and your attention, and as always, go Rams. We will now sing our alma mater led by the 82nd Miss Albany State University, Logan Marshall. We say we dearly love you, whose walls are inscribed with knowledge so true, so solidly built on this foundation, a union of word and inspiration. Teacher for those who strive for success, to thee we give praises above all the rest. Thy jubilant colors of blue and gold will ever honor and ever behold. Thy name is an anchor upon life's sea. In sailing we put our trust in thee. In thee, dear school, we see all the best. To thee we give praises above all the rest. Good evening, and y'all have a safe time as you depart from here. Thank you again.